welcome to B4U. Here with me, Salil on Star Stop, and I have two extremely contrasting individuals sitting right next to me. You know, sometimes off late, we've had a lot of people sitting on a couch and having a lot of discussions as they've gone viral online. And this is universal. In my offices and the places that I work, they always believe that I think Nargis Fakhri will be perhaps the best person to ever chat with. If you just leave the camera on, you ask her 4 questions, I think she'll be awesome with that. We love you for the way you are. Thanks so much for joining us. But it's true. There's never been a filter on Nargis, and that's what we love about her. And I think there's a gentleman who sometimes doesn't get enough due because of the fact that he's also a businessman, because of the fact that he also does 20 million other things. But if you ever go on Google, if you ever go on Wikipedia, you'll be shocked that he probably started acting before you were born. And it's carried on and carried on and carried on. That's what I love about you, Sachiin. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks so much, Salil.
You've literally fought your way into this other dimension of this acting world. You didn't have to. You had to fight it because here people come with a preconceived notion that you cannot break. For her, for everyone else, she'll always be the Firang who speaks a little bit of Hindi. And then if you watch a Madras cafe, you'll go, oh my God, I think, okay, it's not bad, yes, it works. And for them, you'll be the businessman who wants to act. How many films have you done till now, just for the audience? About 20?
I've released about 9 films. I've done about 7 documentary films. So that's the total number.
That's a really long number.
Yeah.
Every time when you go in, have you managed to put this, behind you and start walking ahead with it? Because Telugu cinema, you do a lot. Hindi cinema, of course, sporadically you keep doing. But do you manage to put this behind you? Do they judge you when you go down south?
Well, yes. I mean, for them, I'm one of them now. So Telugu industry somehow accepted that I'm a part of them. In Hindi, it's very different because everything is fragmented and it's very shifted. Here you have to be a part of camps, and here you have to be a part of a team of people. I can't obviously do that because I'm not one of those people who's socializing all the time or doing things. So it's difficult here. But what I've understood as of now, the audience is purely judging you with what you do. They don't care what the critics have to say. They don't care what people have to say. They're just judging you with what cinema you're doing.
But there's also a crowd that's coming that is very vindictive of other people's opportunities. I think 2017 and 18 has become that if they can't get a role, or if they can't, either it's too easy because you're from the film industry, or it's too easy because you got money, or it's too easy because you know the right camps. It's very difficult to sort of please a number of people here. So social media is another sometimes a very negative
If that was the case, I would have been a superstar by now. I don't see it that way. Preconceived notion is something that troubles me at times because people are judging you that only because you have money you can do it. It's the same case. I mean, if a poor boy plays football, soccer, he'll be treated much better and a better player than him. If he comes from a rich background, he will never get his due. So it's always, I feel it's the other way around. For the guy who has everything, it's tougher to fight and win people than the person who doesn't have anything. It's not intentional, but it's something that we all have grown up seeing with. The hypocrisy majorly is the issue, but it's changing now. The new age India, the new people are changing, especially I call them the millennials. They're changing. They will only see what they like. They will judge you with what you show them.
Yeah, because the millennials will be calling Nargis a veteran right now because they would have seen you a long time back. But it's great. Did you know something? You're one of the most loved people, and on the list of loved actresses, hot, all these various lists for years. And you're so nonchalant about it. That's what I love about you. It's cool. You do it and you go and you live in your London, your LA and your New York. Is life really that fancy for Nargis Fakhri?
Fancy?
Yeah, it sounds really fancy.
It sounds fancy?
Yeah, isn't it?
No, I'm just a regular girl.
Yeah,
I go back home, I do my job. I mean, I was here for many years, so I didn't see my family. I didn't see my mom for 3 years.
Wow.
When I was first here, because I had to work so extra hard because, I'm not from here, language, this, that. So I had no life. And then, I continued for a couple more years. And then now I finally decided I would like a life.
So why can't you just chill over here, work 6 months and then not work 6 months, or work 7 to 2 in the morning? In the afternoon, and then chill the rest of the day.
So my family is in America.
Wait, they can come back and forth, no?
No.
Doesn't work like that.
No. doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
But living there, do you think that everyone says the world's like a click away now? Is it really a click away for someone like you? They're working in two different industries now.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're like now closer than we ever were.
Yeah.
Because of, you know,
The internet
the
and social
internet.
media and all.
So, and there's more opportunities now.
Yeah.
So I don't feel so far away from here. Yeah.
You're still a 20-hour flight away.
It's 24 hours. Yeah. It's really like that part. But you just sleep. And then you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm here.
I think it's always been an enigma as far as Bollywood is concerned. Do they still have, like I said, I loved Madras Cafe with you, and that was a fantastic film. And John's doing really well with his, his kind of cinema over the years. Do you think that India still has a white girl syndrome as far as them watching? A white girl is a white girl and it's supposed to be a white girl only and cannot be another kind of girl in the Indian cinema and the context of things.
I have no idea.
Really?
I don't think so.
Really?
Otherwise, Katrina Kaif has done well for
I think that's
herself.
the only exception so far. And she's
Nargis
still
has done
struggling.
good for
We're not
herself. Yeah.
Are we white? I'm not white.
But they would think of you as a Firangi. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think my first problem was that nobody knew who I was in the beginning. They never heard me speak or anything. I wasn't exposed until Rockstar came out, and people were confused because I look very desi, but in reality, I'm so American or white girl or whatever. So I think there was a lot of confusion. Like, what is this Indian girl acting like this for? And she's my mannerisms are very different. I'm very honest and loud.
Which is great.
Instead of shy and coy. I don't know how to play the game, that's for sure.
But how could you not learn that over 5 years? You've had so many different friends in the industry that have said that you can play it better.
Really?
Right?
The game? The game
Yeah.
of
How to stay
Bollywood?
relevant, which you are, but how to stay in the game. I mean, isn't there a formula?
I think it's just not in me. I'm not so cunning. Is that the right word?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't I'm just me.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what you're getting right here.
Like earlier said, no filter.
I'm me. I enjoy experience different things in life. Remember, I lived all over the world. I've done many different jobs in my life. I hope to do many more. I'm also doing other things besides film now, which is very exciting for me. Maybe not for other people. So I'm a person that just wants to experience life. So I'm not taking it as I have to have a strategic plan. Let me make sure where this actor is and let me go be seen with them. Or let me be his friend only because I want to get his movie. No, I'm only going to be your friend if you're really nice, you can be my friend. I don't want anything from you in that way.
I think, that's the beauty of it. I think they've got to understand certain parts. Everybody doesn't want to become number 1 and number 4 on the Forbes magazine list. It doesn't work like that always with everyone. I think they're all enjoying it. But that's the reason why you're still so popular.
Really?
Yeah, of course you are.
I don't even know that I'm popular.
Of course
I have
you
no
are.
idea. Someone just asked me.
Liar or Instagram, of course you know.
Someone said, do you get your Google alerts? I'm like, no.
Why? So what about your inbox? Do you check your inbox with all those gazillion messages?
No, I don't get a gazillion messages.
Oh, you must have blocked everyone.
No, I'm not. Oh, as in DMs?
Yes, DMs.
Oh, so actually, I didn't realize there was a whole nother filtered thing. So people were telling me, check I messaged you. I'm like, no, I never got it because I don't follow them. So unless you follow them, so there's a filter. Then one day I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, and there's just so many, I love you, will you marry me?
Yeah. But it's nice. Instagram's great for the ego. Coming back to the film world, is it also is it a high anymore to release a film and stand up on that day on a Friday? Now that, once you get into the routine of things, now 16 films down, documentaries and films included, is it that high? Do you get nervous at all?
Yeah, closer to the date.
Yeah?
Yes, because every time it's a new experience, releasing a film, because you're growing each day.
Yeah.
And
you have no control over the public.
And you have no control over the box office at all.
Yeah.
So all you can do is put your best foot forward, make a good film, try and make a good release out of it, and then leave it to the audience to decide.
Have you noticed the biggest change in post-film in the last, say, 6 months? Now that you're involved, you've always been involved behind the scenes as well. Have you noticed a very large change in 6 months on how films are being approached?
Tremendous change.
Yeah?
Tremendous change. I mean, the kind of technology that is getting involved in Indian cinema. Earlier it was just for basic things.
Yeah.
But now everybody has been aware that you need to use technology in the right way to make a good film.
Yeah.
especially the VFX.
Yeah, especially horror, which is what
especially
we're
in
going to talk about.
horror, it is very important and it's very prominent to make it look real, because the earlier audience never had the exposure to see the foreign films.
Yes.
Now that the Indian audience is exposed to it, they compare everything to it. So you have to live up to that standard, whether it's any genre of the film. So you've seen with Padmavat or Bajirao.
Even 2.0 was fantastic. With
2.0
certain
was
parts of
great.
Akshay Kumar are brilliant, man.
Yes, and if you see Bahubali, the way it was made. So all these films have changed the perception. People want to see larger than life films. People want to see different technologies made in the real format.
Yeah.
So that is a challenge that is come up to everyone.
I think it's the most in horror to scare people. I've been part of a horror film and it's very difficult to sort of understand what works. So your basic template in horror is, if you have a scantily clad person apparently, if you get a few thrills and chills in, it apparently is the best template to make money at the box office, but it doesn't always work. And also, why does it happen that, horror is considered sometimes sleaze and B grade? At times it does. We'll take a little break and come right back and we'll talk about it. All right, you're back on Star Stop with me, Salil, and well, we've got the two fantasticos in the house. I say why? Totally different. One is Nargis Fakhri. We all love what she does, what she's like. She said she's doing so much different stuff. And the gentleman on the right-hand side is brilliant in, like I said, I always say this again, always check before you go say hello to a few people what they've done. You can't just be assuming that you've seen, I've seen the 3 or 4 films he's done. Nobody, he's done 16 films. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me on the show. Amavas, it is the new film that is coming out. I like the name. It's straight up horror from the time we were growing up. The Ramsey horror films or the horror show. This is my favorite. Are you a fan of horror? Were you a fan of horror when you were young?
Huge fan.
Like gore horror? Like I like Saw horror.
So I like supernatural horror. I don't like gore.
Yeah, you don't like gore?
No.
So you're like the Haunting at Connecticut? No?
Yes.
Yeah, that one?
Yeah, that was
Conjuring?
good.
Yes?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
Follows.
Yeah.
Get Out.
Did you ever check under the bed when you were young? Look
Yes.
behind you when you were running up?
Yeah, there was this, was it called Dolls or something?
Yes.
Oh my God. I had so many stuffed animals and those little troll dolls.
In your house?
Yeah, as a kid.
Wow.
So I was scared thinking that they came to life. And so as a kid, I was scared.
But I used to
Now
run
I'm
up
not
the stairs and look behind me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We still have a 2-floor house. Have you ever done that as a kid?
Yes, I mean, I've been brought up in Pune, and Pune used to, it was not the way it is now, busy. Pune used to be very quiet. And because I share the same wall of FTI, I had a jungle right behind my house.
Wow.
So
sounds in the night.
Sounds in the night, and then you had, we used to walk street completely empty at 7, 8 in the evening. So we used to always have this house which we believed was haunted. Nobody used to live in that house. So we as children, all my friends, we used to try and get in there, and a lot of experiences like that.
So when I think of Sachiin Joshi, I'm not thinking horror in my head. I'm thinking you have done so many different kinds of films. You wanted to do the Mumbai Mirrors of the world, the Azan of the world, the stylized films and all. I'd ask this question, is it the perfect template? A lot of people think that it works as a kind of cinema as well. Horror with elements, you can create a fantastic environment that works. Is that the reason why?
Well, for me, the most important aspect for any film to work is a good script, a good screenplay. And horror, people expect it to be very cliche.
Yeah.
It is cliche in terms of its setup, but every film is different. And this film, you will realize once you watch it that the screenplay is very unique. That's why Conjuring, I mean, it had a great screenplay. That's what it made it work so big.
And that one line, it's based on a true story. That's it, man. Everyone just went on Google in the middle of the film. What story is it? What's the ending?
Exactly. But with this, in Amavas, the screenplay has worked well. And as I said, technology, the way we've tried to do the VFX with the film, it's something that's going to give a lot of surprise to a lot of audience.
It's very expensive VFX, really, really expensive.
It is.
And I think like there are some fantastic VFX. Prime Focus is one of the prime ones in India. Can you get perspective on, whether it's working or not? I mean, what have you done? Do you look back and say, I'm comparing it to some other Hollywood films as far as horror is concerned, and so if this works and it's scaring me?
Well, because you've always grown up watching great cinema, and you try and see the best, and you want to always make it better. So that's what we've done with Amavas as well. So in terms of VFX, try to achieve at least to the standards of what Hollywood film is. That's what has been exception. And that's the exception that audience is going to see with all the horrors that they've seen so far and what they'll see in Hindi cinema.
And the girl's the ghost again.
That's
always
something that
happens in a
you need
horror
to. That's something that you need to see.
Well, is that why you wanted to do this film? Because it's different. You've never done a horror film before, have you?
No.
It's different shooting a horror film than actually seeing it. Because a lot of stuff is happening that you don't know, that you see post.
Yeah. So I was very excited because of that.
Well, easy yes for you to do this?
Yeah. Well, I had to hear the story.
But were you already down here, or you flew down just for this and then?
I don't even remember.
The film has been shot in London.
London. So you flew from there to London.
Yeah.
But I think I was in Bombay when we met and had a meeting about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she, so Nargis Fakhri, tell me about Nargis Fakhri on the set. Is she easy to hang out with? Is she suddenly just jumps into like character in 1 second, switches off?
She was the only breather in the entire shooting, probably. So she is herself as usual. But at times, initially, because for me it was a new experience to see her. But at times, because in a horror film, there are certain very serious scenes and you need to prepare for certain areas. And she would be herself and come out over there and then change the entire environment. So to get back to it was again a challenge. But then everybody got used to it.
The assumption that you'd always want to do comedy, right?
No, I mean, I don't have something that I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because remember, this was not something that I planned to do in my life. But it's awesome that I got a chance to do it. Everyone I meet tells me I should do comedy. So that's...
I think you should do stand-up comedy rather than film.
That's what I
Because you'd rip the world apart.
But I have stage fright.
Really?
Yeah,
you
like
should do,
major stage
You should
fright.
do stand-up comedy without being on the the stage.
You know what I'd be best at? Like a reality show where it's just me, someone following me around.
Oh, I thought you were like in a house with 20 people? No, I don't think so.
Just like follow me in my regular life and
like the Kardashians.
You'll always be laughing. Whether it's stuff that comes out of my mouth or if I'm falling down or hitting myself or...
Are you clumsy?
Yeah, the other day I had to fix my toilet. Because in America, we do everything. I fixed my refrigerator on my own. Let me tell you, YouTubing how to fix a fridge. I should have put that on like Instagram.
No, I want to see what happened with the toilet, but did you fall in?
Oh my God, no. But I had to get like 3 different plungers. I got the wrong one. Things were exploding out of it. My whole bathroom was like... brown.
Sachin, forget Amavas, just make a reality show.
Oh my God, it was
the Nargis Fakhri show.
Yeah, it should be.
And actually, I had to go to a meeting, so I was all dolled up with a plunger and like stuff's flying everywhere, and I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, we don't want to know the stuff flying everywhere. You keep this girl here long enough, I think she'll give us enough information for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
But listen, does it hurt you when people criticize you, and wrongly so sometimes? Because I'm saying this, if you have not seen her performance in Madras Cafe, that for me, I think, was the biggest shocker for me, because I didn't think that you'd pull that off. That was fantastic.
Well, here's what people didn't realize is that was my second film, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't understand the language. To me, everything sounded like okay, well, I don't know what that means, but sure. So imagine, I always tell people, imagine you went to China and they gave you like 2 months to learn the language and try to do some acting stuff and learn the culture, because that's also part of it. How will you do it? I did it, but of course.
So weren't you scared before signing the film and saying, how am I going to do it?
No, because I didn't think like that. I thought it was a fun new adventure. Like, oh, this is something so cool, it's something new. And
You didn't think all us judgmental hacks would jump on you?
No, not at all. So it was crazy because I'm like this naive girl, yeah, cool, this is a cool thing. I'm doing a project. I get to see my mom's country. I get to be, in Kashmir, close to my dad's country, because I'm very American. I don't know the culture. I thought of it like that, like a new adventure. I didn't even think that I would stay. So that was like...
Yeah. But like I said, you can never chart it. Do you sometimes look at the failure of a film, Sachin, and think a lot on it? Because that's how you do for a normal business. Why is my balance sheet not okay?
Right, yes.
Would you do that with a film?
100%.
Have you done that?
I mean, I've more than self-analyzing, I mean, critics work. You really, but the right ones. It's very important that who's criticizing and what background they come from. So that is very important. And when you meet people, people come with their own intentions. That really pinches sometimes. But when I look back at myself and I see what worked and what did not work, what went right or what went wrong, I've been very fortunate in a way, but also unfortunate at the same time. I've got great scripts, but I somehow feel there's something that went wrong with the making. Because great production values, the script looks nice, the story is good, but the only thing that doesn't work is that talent which has to pull it off, getting it in terms of performance or anything like that. So when I do down south, it works exactly different because the director has the hang of it.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what the audience will enjoy, what will please them. But here I've been on a dicey ground.
But this is bilingual, by the way, so you can actually enjoy it both ways. And you've got a director that knows the hang of it. Bhushan Patel is very much into horror.
In fact, horror is my favorite genre. I mean, I've probably seen anything and everything. The worst of it, the good of it, everything. So for me, I've been in touch with Bhushan for 3-4 years, but we've never really got along to do a project together. But I had a very clear idea because if a horror has to be made, it has to be Bhushan Patel because he knows how to make a horror film. He knows how to startle people. He knows how to scare people and at the same time keep the sanctity in the place. That is the script. So that is something I wanted and it happened to me.
You know, the problem with horror sometimes you tend to do too much. You know, I met a director of mine, he said silences work like incredibly. You get so scared just waiting for something to happen. And when it doesn't happen, when you want it to happen, you get even more scared.
And too much of horror, as you see,
that's why Blair Witch Project
it can
works
make
so
you
well, man.
complacent completely.
Of course.
While I was reading the script, there are so many such great scripts I've come across, horrors. But after the 27, 28, 29 scenes, there was so much horror in it that I got complacent. I mean, it's okay, now what next? But with this, you will realize, with Amavas, it is the perfect mix, a perfect blend of startling, horror, great technology, and a good script.
Well, we're going to wait for it. I hope we scare our pants off, literally for a number of people also. Thanks so much for joining us. I do hope I see a reality show on you. Just tie something on your head.
I know.
And just walk around with it.
Have someone else with a thing on their
No,
head.
because, of course.
You gotta see me.
Yeah, we got to
see my face.
Yes, we do that.
and
Yeah,
then-
We plan to put about 50 cameras and put you there.
No, we would. The Kardashians, Hulk Hogan, Kardashians, you're out of here. This one's in LA, she's going to do this.
It's the Fakhri.
That's a really good name. Thank you so much, buddy, for joining us.
Thanks.
It's on B4U, we patented it. You can't use it, right?
Oh,
So it's the
no,
Fakhri
no.
on B4U. Till the next time, take care and I'll see you all soon.